Hey guys, we are back. We're finally back with some more New Jersey Devils franchise mode. I've been sick for like the past week, so that's why there wasn't too many uploads as of last week. And we're getting back into this here. So if you guys remember in the last one, we were looking to trade Mirco Mueller because he really has not been the greatest, and that may not come as a surprise to most Devils fans. But as we take a look at his stats for this year so far, 8 takeaways to 30 giveaways. That is absolutely brutal. And one key thing that, I guess not a key thing, but an interesting thing that I didn't point out in the last one because I didn't realize it until after the recording. But Ty Smith, who averages 12:33 of ice time per game, has 23 blocks. Compared to Mirco Mueller, who's a defensive defenseman, who in 17:25 of ice time only has 20 blocks. So Ty Smith, the defenseman who simulates like an offensive defenseman, is blocking more pucks than Mirco Mueller, the supposed defensive defenseman. He needs to, he just needs to be traded. And we were looking at trades in the last one, and we came across Josh Manson. And now the Anaheim Ducks wanted a first for him when we went into the find trade function. And I'm not willing to give up my first because, as you can see, our record 11, 12, and 2, not exactly in a comfortable position right now, especially to be able to give up our first round pick. So what we'll do is we will give up, first and foremost, Mirco Mueller. And then we'll also include a third for this year. And then we will throw in a couple of rookie defensemen in Ryan and Harvey. Now, obviously, these guys are 49 overall, 19 years of age, both of them. The medium top 4 potential, low elite potential. The likelihood of them making the NHL isn't great. That's why we're including both of them in the deal. We're also including a third so that Anaheim gets at least a fair package out of this. And again, they wanted a first. So I'm trying to get as close to a first in value as we can get without actually trading our first. So Mueller, a third, Ryan and Harvey for Manson. It makes sense because Mueller replaces Manson for the Anaheim Ducks, and they also get a third, which obviously they're looking for picks, and then they get a couple of defensive prospects to potentially fill in the future. Maybe they could sign him right now. They it's before December 1st still. They could technically get him on the AHL team if they wanted to. Anyway, proposed trade. That'll be a trade accepted. This seems like a sweet proposal, so they really liked it. And unfortunately, a lot of morale losses for trading Mirco Mueller. That is okay. We need to get him off our team. He was not getting it done. So now, welcome to the team, Josh Manson. So we're going to have to edit the lines a little bit. Okay, so Manson is in the lineup now. And a comment that I saw, I believe on the video before the last one, said to put Ty Smith on the top pair with PK Subban. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I disagree with this. And the main one being is that Ty Smith is obviously a 78 overall. His role says medium top 6, he's a high top 4 potential defenseman, but his role is a top 6 defenseman. I like keeping guys in their roles. That's where I see the best growth personally. And I've done a few tests. It works occasionally when you have like a 78 overall up there on the top pair, but not enough. There's not enough evidence for me to conclusively say that Smith will actually grow faster with Subban. But another reason that I don't want to put Smith up here with Subban is because Subban is already doing very, very well with Will Butcher. And if I put, let's say, Ty Smith there, then how does that affect Subban? You know? I would rather not chance it because Subban has been by far our best player so far in this simulation. So I'm not touching a thing there. That may be an option going forward, especially if someone like Butcher gets injured. Then maybe we could try Smith on the top 2 with Subban. But that being said, I do want to give Smith some more time, but it's not going to be in the form of 5-on-5. It's going to be on the power play. Now, who do I want to take off here? I think it's going to be Severson because he only has 1 power play point so far. So that means 10 out of his 11 points are from even strength, so I don't think we're hurting the power play too much by taking Severson off. We'll get Smith in. Yeah, that'll work. So I want to put Palmieri over here. Well, actually, no, I'll leave him under his one-timer. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll also get him on the 4-man power play. Oh, he's already there. Okay, good. So that'll be a little bit of extra ice time for Ty Smith there, and hopefully he could develop a little bit faster in that role, get a little bit more offense, and then once he's actually ready for a top 2 role, then we can put him next to PK Subban, hopefully as soon as maybe somewhere down the line this year. I mean, again, anything can happen. If we get an injury to Will Butcher, Ty Smith would be the first person who I put up there with PK Subban. So we got plenty of options here. I'm just playing it safe for right now with Smith and Tanev because, again, Smith adds that +3 to Tanev, meaning Tanev's an 86 overall defensive defenseman, and that complements Smith very well, I believe. So now, I believe we are all set to continue in the simulation. So let's see how Josh Manson positively, or maybe negatively, hopefully not, but there's always that chance of an impact on the simulation for us. So let's go through December now. Miles Wood out with the mild concussion till December 16th. All right, so we did have an injury, but not on defense, as it was unfortunately on our third line. That +3 third line gone once again. So we're gonna have to put either Simmons or Palmieri there, and I think, yeah, it's going to be Palmieri because he has that +3. Palmieri will simulate like an 87. Bratt will simulate like an 87. That's a good combo. And we'll get Simmons up here with Coleman and Nico. And then Anderson on the 4th line. And Miles Wood is fully healed. We're going to get him back in favor of Josh Anderson. Let's see how Anderson has done so far, though. Actually, he hasn't done too bad. 7 points in 12 games. Not too bad, Joey Anderson. For only 9:42 of ice time, not too shabby. Takeaway to giveaway. Ooh, that takeaway to giveaway ratio, 9-3. Doesn't get too many hits, but he is proven to be fantastic defensively so far. How's Zach Smith doing? He's getting the physicality, but I can't say I'm impressed with his takeaway to giveaway ratio. I'll take Anderson out for now, but he's definitely someone we want to hold on to as our 13th forward because he is doing phenomenal defensively so far. So all the lines back to the way they were, and we will get back to the simulation. Okay, so at the end of December, we are 20-15-3. We went 9-3-1 in that stretch. That was a much better stretch than we've had at any other point this season. So I would say the trade helped, for sure. And then maybe even putting Ty Smith on the power play might have helped as well. So got some good line combinations going, it appears, at the moment. PK Subban with 36 points, still absolutely killing it. And again, that's why I didn't want to partially why I didn't want to put Ty Smith with Subban, because he is dominating with Will Butcher. And as for goaltending, now this was the concern last we checked. Okay, Robin Lehner is back up to a 916. I believe that was around a 909 when we last checked. Mackenzie Blackwood at a 900 in 13 games. So we're going to keep rolling with Lehner. Defensively, yeah, all these guys doing a great job. Will Butcher with 21 points. I believe he is on track for a career high. It looks like he's on track for a career high. So Subban and Butcher together, they are working like magic. Severson with 14 points. Manson with 11 points. How many of those came from Anaheim? This is a good feature in this game now, so all of them. But it's good to know for sure that all those points came from Anaheim, and that we can actually see individual stats from different teams now. That's very, very helpful, especially for Hall of Fame videos. Speaking of which, I'm almost done with the Hall of Fame nominations video. That should be out hopefully soon. Don't want to put an exact date on it because I don't know for sure, but should be out soon. And wow, takeaways to giveaways on Josh Manson, 6-3 right now as a defenseman, 23 hits. He's already doing more in 13 games than Mirko Mueller did. So, I'm pretty impressed so far. Liking our roster at the moment. Let's check out our team stats, and then we will go ahead another month. And because we're we seem to be simulating well. I mean, obviously, we went 9-3-1 in the last month. We had 3.18 goals for per game, and that goals against per game is now going down from, I believe we were above a 3 at last checked to a 287. Pretty good. Power play still could use some work, but we're in the top half of the division, so I can't complain too much. Penalty kill, we're at a 81.1. Top half of the division. Could be better, could be worse. Now, I've heard that story before, most notably with the Edmonton Oilers in NHL 19, but for the way this team started, especially defensively, these are definitely PK numbers that I will take any day of the week. So, we're going to go ahead one more month, and we'll see if we can continue on with this pace. We are currently sitting in a wildcard spot with 43 points. I expect no less than when we stop the simulation after January. So here we are at the end of January. Well, actually, at the beginning of February, technically. It is February 1st. And there was actually a trade that went down in the middle of the simulation, but I had to stop the recording before then. So I'll just show you a screenshot of what happened right now. It was Martinez and Engelland to Boston in exchange for Anderson and a 5th to the LA Kings. And now, as we check out the stats, PK Subban with 47 points in 50 games. He is killing it so far. Taylor Hall with 45 points. Jack Hughes with 43. Nico with 39. Gusev with 38. Getting a lot of depth scoring here. And in goal, this is where I'm concerned about. Robin Leonard back down to a 913. Blackwood up to a 902. So, I mean, we keep winning games because in January we went 7-4-1. So we are now 27-19-4. And that does leave us in a divisional spot, but just barely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get Ty Smith up to the top power play unit because that he still maintains that +3 line chemistry. So he'll be simulating like an 81 overall offensive defenseman on the power play, along with players like Hughes, Hall, Subban, and Simmons. So that gives him a lot to work with whenever he's out there on the power play. And we will, I guess, do the same thing here. Yeah, because he'll be with Hughes, Hall, and Subban here on the 4-man power play. So this is definitely the way to grow Smith. You know, not as much 5-on-5 time, but he's gradually started to get more and more power play time as the year has gone on, and now he's finds himself playing with players like Hall, Subban, and Hughes. So now we will go up to the trade deadline, and I don't see any reason to make any trades at the moment because we keep winning. So why mess with what's working? So let's just go ahead in the simulation up to the game against Pittsburgh at the trade deadline. And Kyle Palmieri injured with the groin strain, or pulled groin, I should say, until February 20th. You just hate to see it. So we are going to, I would guess, get either Simmons or Wood on that second line. And yeah, it'll be Simmons because I want to keep Wood there with Bratt and Zaka. And then Zajac, Smith, and Joey Anderson. So now that leaves a void on the power play where Palmieri was. So who do I want there? There's Subban, Smith, Butcher on the point, and then Hall, Hughes, Simmons, Bratt, Gusev, and Nico. So I think we'll get Severson back on the power play. And oh my, a 10-2 win against the Dallas Stars. And then, of course, we followed up with a 6-3 loss and a 5-2 loss. And here we have another trade. To Dallas, we have Jones and Barabo. And then to Minnesota, we have Frolik and Cogliano. My goodness. To Florida, we have Coyle and Lievo. And then to Los Angeles, we have Nason and Connolly, and not Stefan Nason. A different Nason spelled a much different way. And Kyle Palmieri is back. We're going to get him back in. Although Joey Anderson has been doing pretty well for himself last we checked. He has 9 points in 19 games on the fourth line. Only 822 of ice time per game. And his defensive ratios... his defensive ratios have gone back up. That's unfortunate. So we're going to take him out. We'll get Palms back in. And another trade. To the Islanders, we have a 1st and a 3rd round pick. And to Vegas, we have Bailey, a 4th, Pellick, and a 6th. Coach Robichaux has a new conversation. We are being scored on way too often. All right, let's see. believe our team is being scored on way too often. All right. So we have three options. We can say, I think you are onto something. What should we do? Need some more time. As much as I would like to address our goals against situation, I feel this will resolve itself, or persuade. Well, given that I think that it's our goaltending, I don't think it's going to resolve itself. You know, I do agree with him. It's a problem. Our goaltending is a problem, but I'm not sure if I can do anything to fix it. At least not right now. So I will agree with him. We need to upgrade our defenseman. I don't think it's our defenseman, coach. I don't think it's our defenseman. I think it's our goaltending. So we can persuade him, or we can promise that we'll get a new defenseman. I think we're going to persuade, because I don't want to get a new defenseman. We have Ty Smith coming up. We have, as well, that guy that we drafted in the AHL. We have Kirill Zhamnov. And then we have a very deep defensive core other than those young guys. You know, we have Subban, we have Severson, we have Butcher, we have Tanev, we have Josh Manson now. So, I'm going to persuade. All right, good. He says you might be right about this. Hopefully the fans would enjoy the high-scoring games. I agree. Glad you see it that way. So, unfortunately, we have taken a little bit of a nosedive as of recently. And let's see, what did we go in February? It would appear we went 4-7 in February. So there was definitely a few issues there in that month. Maybe part of it would be PK Subban slowing down, since he's not the team leader in points anymore. It would now be Taylor Hall. He's down to 54 points, though, so he didn't slow down too much. Jack Hughes up to an 86 overall now, 52 points. Gusev. Nico, I mean, all these guys are doing well. I don't think it's definitely not offense that we have an issue with. It's, goaltending, man. What about defensively? I mean, PK, Will Butcher, the only minus guy here is Severson, and he's only a -2. So, and I partially blame playing with Mueller for that. So, I really don't think it's our defense. I think it's got to be our goaltending. I mean, Leonard with the 9-10, that's gone down bit by bit as we've checked it throughout the season. Before it was like a 9-16, that was a 9-13, now it's a 9-10. So he's probably hovering around somewhere like 9-05, 9-03 right now. And Blackwood just, down to an 889 save percentage. That is absolutely brutal for Mackenzie Blackwood. And unfortunately, that is a worse save percentage than he had last year in total at an 892. And the thing is, we're right there. We're right there in the chase. We are not in a wildcard spot, because both of those are occupied by the Atlantic Division, but we're right there for the third divisional spot in the Metropolitan. So there's no reason to think why we can't make it, except for our goaltending situation, which just isn't... It's not a good time right now. It really isn't. So let's see if we can make any trades here for a goaltender. First of all, it would have to be for a goaltender that a team wants to give up, and that is often not the case. And obviously, I would want someone who's better than Mackenzie Blackwood if we were to trade him the other way. So let's see. There's Malcolm Subban, who... Blackwood's better than Subban at this rate. I mean, Subban's got that 885 save percentage. That's a yikes. And of course, Corey in Boston is playing phenomenal as a backup. Buffalo, there's Luukkonen and Hutton, but I don't think they'd be willing to give up either Luukkonen or Hutton. I mean, Luukkonen has played 38 games in the AHL level, 931 save percentage. He's clearly an AHL goaltender at this point, but, he's kind of their future. Calgary, no one I'm really interested in. What about Riddick? He's got a sub 900 save percentage as well. Halak, he's a little too old. Now, Carolina is an interesting situation here, because they have Markstrom, Mrazek, and Kemper. And Kemper is an 83 overall, is playing with Charlotte, the Charlotte Checkers. So maybe we take a chance on Darcy Kemper. Now, he didn't have the greatest save percentage last year either. 897 save percentage. And the year before that wasn't the simulation, so I can't exactly trust those numbers. Man, it's no wonder he's playing in the AHL as an 83 overall. He was not great in year number 1, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough finding a goaltender here. There's Anderson, which he has a .904 save percentage. Not a fan of that. Let's see. Grubauer. Nah, Colorado. They wouldn't want to give him up. Columbus only has Greiss. I mean, yikes. The goaltending situation really throughout the league is looking kind of rough right now. Kudobin, no. Looking for someone a bit younger. Bernier, 895 save percentage. That is just brutal. What if, like, is 895, is sub 900 just the norm now? Because I know scoring has gone up in the NHL, and especially in this game, but is sub 900 the new, like, 910, you know? Is that the case here? Because, again, I know a lot of teams are scoring, but has scoring really increased that much? And every other team that has a goaltender that I'd be interested in doesn't have another goaltender that they could go to. I mean, even UC Saros, who's an 84 overall, 887 save percentage. Pecorino has a 910. Varlamov has an 897. See what I mean? Is this the new norm? This must be the new norm for, like, starting goaltenders. Like, Varlamov, 897. You know what? Let's go into the league goaltender stats, and let's see what's going on here, because I really... If this is the norm, then we do actually have a pretty good goaltender in Robin Lehner. But I just want to make sure that this is actually what's happening, you know? So let's see. A minimum... Let's go for a minimum of... Let's say 30 games. 30 games played, and then we'll sort by save percentage. Yeah, I mean, the highest save percentage is Vasilevsky with a 919. And then it goes down to Binnington with a 915. And then, so what would be the average of all these save percentages? I'm guessing it's somewhere like about a 910. So Leonard's right there. It's just a matter of where does Blackwood fit in with the rest of the league, you know? I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury has an 871. Now, I don't know if that's a result of his team being bad, but like someone like Thatcher Demko, 83 overall, 892 save percentage, and then someone like Dubnyk, who's an 88 overall, 896. So I really think it's just that scoring's gone up this year. So I wish I could do something about it, coach, but like I don't know anymore. It's messing with my perception of what is actually good, you know? Because the norm of what's good for a save percentage anyway would be, you know, 910, 915, 920. But in this game, it seems like 910 is the league average, you know? And when we take a look at goals against per game, I mean, there's only the first place team in the league, as far as goals against per game goes, is at a 2.62. There's no one below that. And how many teams here are below a 3? There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Only 17 teams are below a 3 goals against average. So we're going to go through the stats here, and then I think we're going to end off the video because it's just all over the place right now. I have no idea what's going on in the NHL. So we're going to need to, I guess, we'll see where the weakest parts of our team are, and then we'll upgrade them. But the thing is, the weakest part of our team is definitely goaltending, at least as far as, you know, the real NHL goes. But as far as this game goes, I'm not exactly sure. So Taylor Hall with 56 points, Jack Hughes with 52, Goose with 51, Nico with 48, Bratt with 41, Coleman with 35, Paul Mary with 31, Zaka with 27, Simmons with 26, Zach Smith with 22, Miles Wood with 20, Zajac with 14, and Joey Anderson with 9. Now, face-offs, Zajac with 56.8, Zaka with a 55.5, Nico with 51.6, and Hughes with 46.9. Physically, Paul Mary over 100 hits already, Hall with 89, Coleman with 85, Simmons with 79, Smith with 74, Wood with 67, Zaka with 64, Zajac with 50, Nico with 40, Hughes with 39, Gusev with 34, Bratt with 27, and then Anderson with 3. Now, the ratios. Hall, great. Nico, great. Bratt, great. Simmons, great. 35-9. Coleman could be better. Palmieri could be better. Zajac could be better. Hughes could be better. Gusev could be better. Smith could be better. Wood could be better. Zacha, good. Anderson could be better. And now defensively, Subban with 54 points. Butcher with 27. Severson with 19. Manson with 18. Smith with 17. And Tanev with 14. Physically, Subban and Manson over 100 hits already. Severson's close with 95. Tanev with 72. Butcher with 36. Smith with 19. And ratios, Manson's really good. Butcher's good. Subban could be a bit better, but he's getting a lot of offense, so can't complain there. Tanev, 20-43. Severson, that's a bit rough, 12-63, and then 11-34 for Ty Smith. And then in goal, of course, we saw before, 9-10 save percentage for Leonard, 2 shutouts, and for Blackwood, an 889. Okay, so here's my idea. I think we need another forward, to be honest. Obviously, we need the goaltender, but the thing is, Robin Leonard is actually at like league average save percentage right now. But what we can always improve on is our goal scoring. I mean, I know we're already way above a 3 right now, but it seems that goal scoring is going way up so far in this simulation. So my idea is that we can put Bratt on the second line. We're going to break up that third line. We're going to have Bratt, Nico, and Palmieri, because Palmieri's kind of been struggling, but he does have the potential to put up quite a few points. And he's solid defensively as well. So have Bratt on that line with Nico and Palmieri. I guarantee you Palmieri, at the very least next year, could have 55 to 60 points like he did last year. Now, this third line of Coleman, Zacha, and Wood wouldn't stay together. And I would have Coleman and Zacha on this line, but I wouldn't have Wood. And the reason for that is because he has been a turnover machine this year so far. 18-35 is his takeaway to giveaway ratio. I don't trust that. I think we need to send Miles Wood somewhere else because it's just not working out for him. Wayne Simmons, he could be a good option for the third line. If we, let's say, put him up here. I like him. I personally like him better on the fourth line. I want to get someone sort of like a Bratt and then put him on the wing with Zacha and Coleman. I think that'll give us some more help on the power play. That'll give us some extra scoring, obviously. So we're going to look around the league for a Jesper Bratt type player. We're going to see who is on the block. So starting with Anaheim, no NHL level player. There's Hjalmarsson. For Arizona, there's Stepan. There is Demers. There's Bacher. Laco. Rodriguez. Nope. There's Jordan Staal from Carolina. Maybe a defensive forward would help. Just given, again, the amount of goals that are being scored in the league this year. And Jack Hughes is struggling in the faceoffs a little bit. So Jordan Staal actually might not be a bad idea. His contract is kind of ugly. But at the same time, this would be a huge upgrade. At least on faceoffs, we can move Hughes to the wing. There's a lot of options if we get Jordan Staal. So with that being said, I wouldn't be opposed to getting a defensive center either. So it looks like the Canadians are having a fire sale here. They got Weber, Gallagher, Petrie, Tatar, Danault, Byron, all on the trade block here. So what about Danault? He apparently wouldn't fit into our scheme. He would fit in on the defensive pairing? Excuse me? As a center? I mean, that's not unheard of, but you generally don't play forwards on the point during 5-on-5. Just saying. And then Brendan Gallagher. He's not really a Jesper Bratt type player, but he is a pretty good player. And he's only got 1 year on his contract, so I don't know if I would want to pick that up. And then, of course, there's always Braden Point, who is still unsigned by the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, has he even played a game in the simulation? Okay, yeah, he played last year, but he's still unsigned, and for us, I don't think we'd be able to, we wouldn't be able to offer him a contract till next year, so that's, at the moment, that's pointless for us. Literally pointless. And Toronto, no one. Vancouver, no one. Vegas, no one. Washington, no one. Winnipeg, no one. So for me, it's either Jordan Staal or we could get Brendan Gallagher. But the thing is, he's on a 1-year deal, so we would have to hope that he wants to re-sign if we traded for him. Dano also wouldn't be bad for faceoffs. He's got a 57.71, so either Staal or Dano would be excellent. But my problem is I don't know what we would be able to trade for them. Well, I guess if we were trading for a center, that would mean Jesper Boqvist is expendable. You know, I mean, I know Boqvist is a huge part of the future in real life, but in the game, I mean, we have Lundell, who's a 76 now. If we're getting someone like Dano, then Boqvist does become expendable. So I think any package that we would trade to Montreal would definitely have to include Boqvist, but we're not going to make that trade right now because, again, the simulation has just been all over the place. I need your guys' help deciding what to do. So let me know in the comments, what should we do? Should we trade for Staal? Should we trade for Dano? Should we trade for somebody else? Let me know. And should we try to resolve our goaltending situation, or is it okay for the time being given the amount of scoring that's going on in the league, you know? So let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.